right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want today's video to be about is, are you stuck in an unhealthy environment? And the reason I want to touch upon this is because I used to be in a really crazy environment. Mine's going to be to the extreme, but I think once I kind of talk about what I've been in the past, it'll maybe help you think about kind of what type of environment you're in, if it's healthy or not healthy or kind of in between, whatever the hell it is. But when I was younger, I started working for my father at a young age in my mid-teens, and that was in the bar nightclub business. And we were doing vending, actually, picking up money, delivering equipment, things in that nature. It was mainly bars, nightclubs, and gentlemen clubs, restaurants as well. So what happened to me, especially say in my later teens, when I really started to basically get a fake ID and spend more time in and out of bars, I realized that I kind of found myself in an environment that even though I was working out all the time and really caught up in fitness, I was also living another lifestyle that was extremely unhealthy, I guess you could say as well. And what started to happen with me, and I don't know if this happened with you, is kind of work started to become, my work environment was unhealthy, and then my nightlife, even when I wasn't working, became very unhealthy. And it started very slow and kind of built up. Back to my later teens and early 20s, when I was collecting a lot of money, say in and out of these bars, nightclubs and gentlemen's clubs, you go inside there and you run into a lot of bar owners, bar managers, bartenders, restaurant owners, and they're always offering you drinks, right? Especially even if it's happy hour, or you're just going in there to eat dinner. Before you know it, it's a drink here, a drink there, whatever the case may be. And also you start hanging around with a lot of people who do a lot of things that are unhealthy. Not that I necessarily was, but a lot of my friends and colleagues, I guess you could say, co-workers or people I worked with within the industry were doing a lot of drugs, alcohol, and things in that nature. They could do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And then what I realized too, at night, I was going to a lot of nightclubs. Let's say, for instance, again, not saying that's a horrible, environment necessarily. Again, a lot of alcohol, drugs, staying up late, things again in that nature. So what I started to really figure out about myself is, was I stuck in this or did I create this? Because the reality is in life, a lot of the decisions you're making obviously are on your own. But when it comes to your health, right, you got to really start looking at it in the long term. I talk about it all the time, but also the decisions you make just in the short term. If you're having only say 1 or 2 or 3 drinks a day, look at the end of the month, that's a lot of drinks, let's say. Even if back then I wasn't smoking cigarettes or anything in that nature, but you got to think about all the secondhand smoke I was breathing in, okay? Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and change your entire life or any of that bullshit. That's nonsense. I still go out and have drinks. I had some last night. I had, smoke cigars, whatever the case may be. I want you to enjoy your life. But I do want you to realize that sometimes, the environment that you are stuck in or that you're surrounded in the long run, may not be helping you but hurting you. I eventually weeded out a little bit out of that. Started making films. I wasn't a heavy drinker by any means. And I started to depend, I guess, more upon fitness and going to the gym more and not being stuck, again, in bars, nightclubs throughout the day and then nightclubs at nights. But I just really want to touch base with this, especially you young people out there. A lot of us love fitness and a lot of us work out really hard. You can work out 4 or 6 days a week, right? But when you're outside of there, what are you really doing? Are you helping yourself? Are you hurting yourself? And again, that doesn't have to be extreme. I'm not telling you you can't go out and party, you can't drink, you can't go watch bands, whatever the hell you want to do. But just make sure that you don't, I guess, get sucked into it where it becomes such a part of your life that you don't know how to kind of live a life outside of that, is what I should say. Because there's a lot of other healthier options, I guess. And I didn't have that in my youth. It was kind of like you could just kind of go to a gym, go surfing. Of course, there were different type of exercise. You could play basketball and join different clubs. But now, there are so many different things regarding joining clubs, many different style gyms, many different organizations that you can join. That maybe, instead of just living a lifestyle, maybe that you're living, going to a bar at night all the time, or maybe just, again, being in an unhealthy environment, you can find environments that are very, very healthy that will help you not always kind of take a toll on you. And I just thought I would do a video on that because I was just thinking about it the other day, that the environment I lived in previously is almost like another life. And even though I loved that life, I had to realize that life in the long term was not definitely going to work out for me. And I have a lot of family members, friends, and colleagues that kind of still live that type of life. And I could tell, especially middle age now, a lot of them are hurting. They didn't necessarily take care of themselves. I was fortunate enough to work out through those times, but a lot of other people didn't, and they're having a lot of issues health-wise. So please pay attention to that and take care of yourself, all right? All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich CELENZA Show. What else? I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can check everything out on my website, richcelenza.com. I have a program called Mastering Self-Confidence. You can check that out as well if you get time. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.